Financial Fitness Wednesday. Financial fitness, physical fitness goes hand in hand. You've got to have both. Welcome to America. I was reading yesterday that the college graduates, for the first time in history, have a higher unemployment rate than the high school grads. First time in history. Now, there could be a whole lot of reasons behind that right there. It could be that, the economy, the changing of the economy, AI, could be a combination of all of that. But I don't see a lot of those jobs coming back. That's gone. I mean, the unemployment numbers are up actually for everybody. So not just college grads, it's up for everybody. You look at this thing, they talk about the amount of women have lost jobs, that's unemployed. Most of them had a lot of good jobs that was lost. Now, again, it ain't just women, but I guess on a percentage-wise, it was higher for women because I know a lot of men that's unemployed as well. So it's kind of hit everybody, right? So this is where we at. But I'll tell you, some of the things I do, obviously, like I always say, I'm retired, had a military career. Then I went to work for the government, city mail carrier, retired from there as well. But I think a lot of them days is over too. Because even I hear when I read my stuff through the post office, even they talking about cutting. Everybody's cutting right now. And a lot of these jobs has been cut from the government. I don't think a lot of them coming back. I don't see a lot of them coming back at all. I think AI would do most of these jobs. I think AI gonna do a lot of private sector jobs. So this is where we at. So I guess the question is, what are people gonna do? Because even regardless of the politics of it, whoever is voted in, and obviously I vote, but I don't know whether the change of politics is gonna immediately get everybody a job. I think it can help eventually, but I don't think some of these jobs coming back anyway. So back to my point. I think the things that people have to say is never again. Because these are situations where we kind of seen it coming. I'm talking about the country, kind of seen it coming. Those that was looking, obviously, that this AI was coming, and this is what the people wanted. So this is where we're at. But number one thing, always take care of number one. And obviously some people out there have dependents. If you got dependents, obviously you gotta work, you gotta put food on the table. And let's just say even if you don't have no dependents, you still got bills. If you live here in America or probably anywhere, you still got a light bill, water bill, gas bill, a car, gas, you got it all. So ain't it just crazy to talk about, money ain't everything? Stop it. It's dumb talk. You got to have money, period. And the whole thing about money, it should be always about building financial security anyway. That's the point that we're trying to get to anyway, right? But one thing that I do, now that I'm retired, and I tell you right now, if I would have learned this before I got any job, well, I probably never would have had a job because I'd have been doing these stock options and I'd have been building a stock portfolio. Just like it built money for the top 1%, 2%, 3%, and a lot of other folks out there, it can build it for you as well. Because right now the stock market is down. I'm not gonna go into the gutter about why it's down. We all know why it's down. I don't know how long it's gonna be down. That's not my problem. My thing is to take advantage of the situation because it's all about you. It ain't about what they do or whoever cares. Nobody cares about that. Take advantage of the situation. It is now about building for you and your family, and that's where it's at. Save them. You got to save yourself. That's what it's about. People ain't got jobs, unemployment high, everything going away. If you don't focus on you, and some people will still be talking this talk. I call it crazy talk. They need to do well. If you focus on you and take advantage of the situations that is available, because there are situations like right now, the stock market is in the gutter. Right now, is the time to take advantage. And I know some people out there maybe say, ain't nobody got no money for that. But I'm talking about penny stocks. Penny stocks. And anything under $5, is called penny stocks. So all of these up and coming companies, let's just go to the defense side of the house right now, okay? Since that's what's up right now. There's companies out there, drone companies out there that's smaller, that has contract with the government, okay? There's Lockheed stocks or companies tied to Lockheed Martin. There's AI stocks everywhere, companies, startups. But obviously on these penny stocks, they're very volatile, so you got to do your work on them. But you can hit on them. You can hit, because a lot of these companies, like these drone companies, right about now, their percentages are doubling almost overnight. And regardless, we know drones is not going away. They're here to stay. The Amazon using them, and I suppose, the authority are using them, law enforcement using them. Drones are not going nowhere, so they're here to stay. That's just one. But there's a lot of other AI, intel companies out there tied to the defense spending and all of that. But those are smaller companies, once again, that if you do your research, and these stocks or these companies' shares are around about $1, $2, $3, $4 a share. What I have done, because I do my research, I don't spend a whole lot of my time out watching these folks in stratosphere, their lives or whatever. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I can care less about that. They're trying to enhance their life by showing you that. I'm trying to enhance my life by doing my studying on making my money too. They can't get me to where I need to be at no way. They can't get you there either. So I spend all my time researching, trying to master this game, and I've got it down pat. Okay? So when I go out and buy these penny stocks I'm talking about, I've done my work, which lowers my chance of just buying anything, because you just can't go out here and buy anything just because it's dirt cheap. That don't mean it's going to move. But if you do your work on some of these smaller companies right now, and they call them penny stocks, these smaller companies, you'll find out, if you do research, you'll find out some of these larger companies like Microsoft, Amazon, the military are buying into these smaller companies, have contracts with them to where they are utilizing them for whatever their needs are. So these companies are coming up overnight, but it's always been that way, But you have to do your work, and I've done my work. I've bought, since this stock market has went down. I have taken advantage of it. Once again, I don't care nothing about all of this, whatever. It ain't my problem. That's not my problem. My thing is to take advantage of it. My thing is to get paid just like they're trying to get paid. You don't have to get on here and twist it and apologize and try to not say it what it is. What it is that they are trying to get paid. You are trying to get paid. That's the bottom line. You don't have to sugarcoat it. That's what's up now. This is where we at now. No more cute talk. It's about you getting it and building your own wealth and saying, never again would I put my stuff or my life in nobody else's hand to build me up. Oh, they need to get me a job. No. You get your own job. That's your job. Oh, no. You build your own finances. That's up to you. You take charge of that. You get yourself there. But you got to put the work in order for that to happen. You can't keep depending on them, because as you see, that doesn't work. You got to put the work in. And when the stock market is down, it's time to shop. It's time to take advantage of it, because we all know it is not going to stay down. That's why I've been buying up 100 shares of penny stocks here, 100 shares here. If it costs $1.98, I've done my research. Drone companies, intel companies, aircraft companies, I'm talking about defense, buying up, because they're always going to be needed, but you got to do your work. There's always opportunities, but you got to do your work. Once again, this is where I put my time at. I watch my sports. I love some of my entertainment I watch. But I'm not going to sit around and spend all my time watching some of these folks out here, man, talking about their lifestyle and trying to talk about stuff that they don't even know what they're talking about. And that's where they get themselves in trouble, just running their mouths and stuff. But I guess social media shows you that everybody ain't smart, because some of the things you have to leave alone, unless you educated and do your work. But that's a whole nother thing. I don't watch it no way. I'm focusing locked in on me. I'm trying to get mines too. Because the folks that people are spending all their time living their lifestyle, they can't get you to where you need to be at no way. They can't. And it's not happening. And it's not going to happen. You're going to have to do that. In order to do that, you got to put in work. You got to study, research, and put in work. And if you do that, you will get there. The will to win. How bad do you want it?